Oh, you've done it now, Johnny.
Welcome to the breakdown with Jay and Nell, where we'll discuss all of your NFL and NBA news.
Tap in if you want to get to the breakdown.
This is the breakdown with Jay and Nell. Welcome. I have Random Sports Fan Forum from TikTok joining me today. My co-host L, he's not in today. He's out handling some business. So I have Random Sports Fan Forum as a guest on the show today.
I'm glad you're having me on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so been a pretty busy week for me. But we're here to talk football, so let's get started. We're going to give you our week 6 predictions. The first game we're going to talk about is the London game, Denver Broncos versus New York Jets.
For that game, I've got the Broncos. I mean, the Jets are not a very good football team. And to be completely honest with you, I think Aaron Glenn might be a one and done coach. He's a defensive specialist, and their defense has gotten worse every single week. Uh, you want to see them get better. They're not. And Denver's coming off a really big win against the Eagles. I think that they should easily win this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with Denver as well. Um, it sucks for Aaron Glenn because I was happy for him that he got this opportunity. But like you said, it may be a one and done season for him. And it's unfortunate because when he got hired, I was like, "Bro, this is like the worst situation you can head into as being a head coach for your first year." So, but I'm going with Denver. I like their defense. They're top 5 in every defensive category, and they're looking like a serious contender in the AFC. I have to roll with them. They're the better team. All right, we're gonna move over to the noon games. The first game we're gonna cover is the Dallas Cowboys versus the Carolina Panthers.
For that game, I've got Dallas. Uh, their offense has been lights out this season. I mean, in 3 of their 5 games, they put up 40, 40, 37. Carolina, I mean, Bryce Young probably isn't the guy. And I know Rico Dowdle rushed for over 200 yards last week, but that's not going to happen again. I really do believe that Dallas should and will win this game also.
Yeah, um, I wanted to be a blowout, but it may turn out to be like how the Jets game went last week. The Panthers may get some last minute touchdowns in garbage time, but I had the Cowboys winning. Offense is, like you said, has been explosive. This is the best I've seen Dak play in years. Probably even better than how he was playing in 2023. But yeah, I like Dallas a lot. Defense is still questionable, but we're making some changes, and seems like they're improving week to week now defensively, and hopefully that continues on Sunday. But I had the Cowboys. All right. Next up we have is the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
For that game, again, it should be the Steelers. I mean, Dylan Gabriel looked pretty decent last week in his first start, but the Steelers are just the better team right now. I mean, Cleveland kind of they're they're not a bad team. They're just not as good as Pittsburgh is, so I'm going to go with the Steelers in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Steelers as well. Cleveland Browns always had good defenses, but Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, he's been playing well. I thought he wasn't gonna be so well this season, but he's playing well. Pittsburgh looks like contending AFC. Looks like they may end up winning the division this season with all the injuries and everything that Baltimore is going through. But I like Pittsburgh in this as well. Um, Dylan Gable, he's looking okay, but he still has room to grow. He's a young quarterback, and I don't expect for them to beat Pittsburgh. All right, next up we have is the Arizona Cardinals and the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, that's an easy Colts win for me. They're one of the better teams in the NFL this season. Daniel Jones has been revitalized, and you see what happens when a talented quarterback, or gets, a decent offensive line, a good running back. Jones has basically turned back the clock to what the Giants thought they were drafting. And to be completely honest with you, Arizona is a mess right now. They don't have an identity. You never know what you're getting with them every week. I remember the week one against the Saints, they looked lost in a game the Saints probably should have won. So, I mean, the Colts are firing on all cylinders right now, playing a team that is just a mess. It should be an easy Colts win.
Yeah, I'm about to go with the Colts as well. Uh, change of scenery can be good, and it seems like Indianapolis is a good fit for Daniel Jones, and uh, Daniel Jones is a good fit for Indianapolis. It's like match made in heaven. But he does have a good offensive line, good running back, couple of receiving weapons. Tyler Warren has been he has impressed me in his rookie year. I think he's leading tight ends and receiving yards. I think. Um, but yeah, I like the Colts a lot. They're one of the surprise teams in the NFL this far, and I expect for them to win. This should be an easy win, like you said. All right, next up we have is the Chargers and the Dolphins.
Again, Chargers all the way on that game. The Dolphins, I mean, Mike McDaniels lost the locker room. I don't see him getting through the season. And the Chargers, again, are one of the better teams in the NFL. So I know Amari and Hampton is out. That'll probably play a role in that. But to be completely honest with you, the Chargers have three or four pretty good receivers they can throw the ball to. And Miami's defense is not good. So I'm even with them missing Hampton. I think the Chargers should win this game.
Yeah, Chargers they're dealing with some injuries on the offensive line. The running backs, like you said, Najee Harris, he's out for the year. Amari Hampton, he's on IR. I expect Justin Herbert, like you said, in that passing game to get going against a bad Miami Dolphins defense. And Miami Dolphins, they're just on a wreck right now. And I agree with you on Mike McDaniels. I don't think he's going to make the season. I think he's going to get fired or something. But
Yeah, this is the same defense that gave up 200 plus rushing yards last week too. So we could be surprised by the two Chargers running backs.
yeah, they have some rookies back there, but against this bad defense, they should be perfectly fine. But yeah, give me the Chargers as well. Next up we have is the Patriots and the Saints.
Again, like I said, I do believe the Saints are moving in the right direction. Kellen Moore was a good hire. They're competent. They're competitive every week, even though the wins aren't there. But I do think that the Patriots are going to win this week. Don't be surprised though if New Orleans gives them a really good game because which Patriots team are we going to see? The team that beat the Bills or the team that got into a shootout with the Dolphins? We're not really sure which team we're going to get. The Patriots should win, but I do believe New Orleans will give them a good game, and I wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans won.
Um, I'm gonna go with the Patriots as well. Uh, I think the thing is Drake May he needs to be consistent. I think that's the main issue. Um, but yeah, the Saints I mean they fight hard, but they're a pretty bad team. Um, they could come up and surprise you like how they beat the Giants last week. But I'm gonna go with the Patriots here. All right, this is the last game of the noon lineup. Is the Seahawks versus the Jaguars.
Ooh, that's going to be a good game. But honestly, I know the Jaguars are riding high right now, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks. They proved last week that they can score because that was one of the things I was talking to a Buccaneers fan about, and my analysis was if the Seahawks kept the game close, they had a shot at winning, but they weren't built for a shootout. Well, I was wrong because they were scoring back and forth. And I just Seattle, I think, is for real this year, and I think they're going to prove it this week against the Jaguars. Not saying the Jaguars are a bad team. I just think that I just have a feeling that Seattle is going to win this game.
Yeah, I also picked Seattle too. It was a tough one just because Jaguars had the big win Monday night against. Monday night against the Chiefs. They had a big win against them, and I'm impressed by Sam Darnold. I didn't think he was gonna be this good with Seattle. I thought a lot of his success had to do with Kevin O'Connell back in Minnesota and the offensive pieces he had around him in Minnesota. But he's proven me wrong. He's proved a lot of people wrong that he can pretty much fit in anywhere. And this Seahawks team, their defense is good. Mike McDonald, and yeah, Jaguars defense, their defense is good too. But you don't know what you're going to get out of your offense. You don't know which Trevor Lawrence you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get the guy that's using his legs like he did on Monday night, or you don't think you'll get the guy that's going to be like pedestrian and try to be a pocket passer. So I'm going to the Seahawks here. It's going to be a pretty close game. I think it'll be a close win, but I'm going with the Seahawks. All right, we're going to move over to the evening games. The first game we have is the Titans and the Raiders.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of a difficult one because neither team is really that great. Geno Smith has thrown a multitude of interceptions. Cam Ward really has no help. Brock Bowers is not going to be playing this week for the Raiders, so that is something. So to me, it kind of comes down to Genty, and I think the Raiders are going to win. I mean, neither team really has much offensive firepower, but this is the kind of game they're going to lean on Genty, and he's the better running back. I mean, neither defense is really great, so I'm going to go with the Raiders. I mean, it is a tough call though, but I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Yeah, I had a tough time picking this game too. Um, yeah, Titans been bad, but the Raiders have been just as bad. But yeah, I think the Raiders they do need to lean on that running game because Smith I think he's already thrown like 8 interceptions this season, and to cut down the turnovers, they need to run the football, feed Genty, and let that open up the passing game for Geno Smith in that offense. But I'm gonna go with the Raiders here. All right, next up we have is another good game. San Francisco 49ers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, so this game has a multitude of injuries. The Buccaneers actually announced about an hour ago that Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin will all be out.
Oh wow.
So, but at the same time, Brock Purdy's not going to be playing for San Francisco either, which, I mean, Mac Jones is banged up. Not sure how many people are going to be back for the 49ers, though, because, I mean, they were missing their number one, number two, and number three receiver last week, and they still beat the Rams. But I'm actually going to go with the Buccaneers, even though they're missing their stars, because Emeka Ibuka is offensive rookie of the year for sure. I mean, Rashad White played very well last week in fill in, and I just think the Buccaneers just Baker Mayfield right now to me is arguably top two in the MVP race right now. He's been showing it week in and week out, and I think he's going to pull through again. I know the 49ers are coming off a big win against the Rams, but honestly, I'm going to go with the Bucks in this game because their quarterback play has been phenomenal this season.
Yeah. Um, Even before all the injuries, that you mentioned with Tampa Bay. I still pick them to win just simply because of Baker Mayfield's play. Like you said, he's playing on an MVP level. He's only thrown one interception, I think. He's completing like 70% of his passes. And he just playing lights out football right now. Don't know what it was. I don't know if it's like a switch that flipped in his head or what. But he's playing lights out. And Emeka Ibuka, he's caught me by surprise. I didn't know he was gonna be this good. But he looks like a veteran out there playing. He does look like a rookie. And I really like Tampa a lot. They're my dark horse, one of my dark horses in the NFC to be contenders in the Super Bowl. I mean, to be a Super Bowl contender and to be playoff contenders. So I gotta go with Tampa. All right, next up we have is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Green Bay Packers.
So Joe Flacco has a chance to do something very funny because he just beat the Packers 2 weeks ago with the Browns. Uh, this is going to sound really bad, but I'm actually going to go with the Bengals in this game. Flacco's going to start, and that's what they need. They need a veteran quarterback who can dish the ball out. It's going to help Chase. It's going to help Higgins. It's going to help Chase Brown. I know the offensive line is bad, but honestly, the Packers defense really hasn't been that daunting this season, even with the addition of Parsons. I mean, he only has 2.5 sacks this year, and one of them against the Cowboys probably shouldn't have counted, if we're being honest, because
No,
it should have been a tackle for no gain. I feel like they gave him that sack to keep the narrative going, but if we're really being honest, that probably shouldn't have been a sack. I do think that Flacco is going to make a difference for the Bengals, and I think they're going to stun the Packers this week.
okay, so here's one game we don't agree on, but I think Flacco he's gonna be fine with the Bengals. I don't think he's gonna like immediately like just transform their offense. I think it's gonna take a minute for him to get acclimated to those new receivers. I'm not worried about the system because he's been in the game long enough. It's probably gonna take a while to pick up that offensive system, but just to build that rapport and that relationship with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I don't think that's gonna happen overnight. Um, Green Bay's defense, yeah, it has their defense haven't been impressive, surprisingly, but I don't know. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling Green Bay's gonna win. And this may be the game that Michael Parsons goes off on because I'm not so confident in the Bengals offensive line. Like, I'm not going to expect for them to protect a 40-year-old Joe Flacco when you can't protect Joe Burrow. So I'm going with the Packers.
Right. To add to that, though, I think my reasoning though for that is that Flacco being a veteran is going to get the ball out quick. I don't think he's going to give the Packers defense a chance to get to him, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Um, okay, Sunday Night Football. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Detroit Lions versus Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going with Detroit in that game. Kansas City, those years and years and years of losing people to cap has kind of caught up with them now. Rashid Rice is still not back. This will be the last week of his suspension. So, I mean, really, Mahomes is doing it out there with a bunch of number twos and number threes. Their running game has been basically non existent. And Detroit is just a really good football team. Uh, I do believe Detroit is going to win this game, and I do think that it's not going to be as close as people think. Like, honestly, this is going to be my bold prediction, but the Lions, I believe, will win this by at least 14.
I've been kind of like back and forth with this game. Um, I know Chiefs lost this past Monday to the Jaguars. For some reason, I don't see them losing 2 games in a row, even though they're missing Rasheed Rice, their top receiver. They did get Xavier Worthy back this past week. Um, I don't know. I just have a feeling the Chiefs go out find a way to pull it out. And I know the Lions they've been well. I think Terran Arnold, yeah, he's gonna be out, and I think their other corner is gonna be out too. I forgot his name, but their secondary is pretty banged up. And even with number two and three receivers running out there, I still think Patrick Mahomes he's gonna pull out some magic. He's gonna find a way to will the Chiefs to a win. And they're also playing in Kansas City. I feel like the home field does give them an advantage. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit wins. I just don't see Kansas City losing two in a row. And if they do lose two in a row, then Kansas City really has some problems. All right, we're gonna move over to Monday Night Football. We have a double header. The first game we have is the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. I've got Buffalo in that game though. I mean Atlanta. I don't know what to make of Atlanta because they, on paper, should be one of the better teams in the NFL, but I don't know where the disconnect is. Like I don't want to sound bad when I say this, but I kind of don't buy Atlanta until I see it. If that makes any sense, because year in and year out, we hear how they're one of the best teams in the league on paper, which is true, but for some reason they can't put it together. I mean, Josh Allen was last year's MVP. He makes things happen. I'm going to go with the Bills.
Yeah, I don't see what the hype is with Atlanta. Like you said, on paper, they have weapons, like a whole lot of weapons on offense. But like you said, they just can't seem to put it together. And I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know if that's Michael Penix and his development. But I like I like the Bills a lot. I don't see them losing two. I don't see them losing two in a row as well. I think Josh Allen and that Bills offense, they're gonna get going. Atlanta's defense is not all that great anyway. So if somehow their offense do have a good night and it turns out to be a shootout type game, give me Josh Allen. Josh Allen 24/7 every day against Michael Penix. I'm all with Buffalo. And the last Monday night game is the Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders.
Ooh, that's another tough one. I mean, the Bears have been playing way better. Uh, the Bears have been playing way better, but I'm gonna have to go with the Commanders. Uh, they just saw the Eagles get smoked last night, and this is their chance to take the division. And I think that is a big deal for them because, like, look, we win this game, we are first place in the NFC East. I think that's going to be a good motivator for them. So I do think that the Commanders will win, but I think this will be a close game because the Bears are starting to get better.
Okay. Uh, I I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm gonna go with the Bears here. Like you said, they've been playing better. Seems like Caleb Williams, he's starting to settle down. I learned this Ben Johnson's offense. And I like their receiving threats against Washington's secondary. I'm not so sold on Washington's secondary. Um, but I feel like it's gonna be a big day for Caleb Williams in the offense. Um, I think it's gonna turn out to be like one of those shootout type games. And I just feel like the Bears gonna put up more points against Washington. And also, I want my Cowboys to start gaining some ground in the division. With, like you said, with the Philly loss, I need the Commanders to lose next, so our Cowboys can gain some ground in the division. Because right now, feels like the division is wide open.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Um,
Hold on one second. My dogs are barking at the door. I'll be right back. I apologize. Let me get them
that's
to.
fine.
No. I'm sorry about that.
That's fine. Like I was saying, I think the division is wide open. I think now for like out of the three teams, Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, it's wide open for any one of those teams to take control of the division. And right now, Philly is not looking all that great. So it's up to the Commanders and the Cowboys to gain ground in the division. And I hope the Cowboys gain ground. And I think that starts with Chicago beating the Commanders and on Monday Night Football. As long as we take care of Carolina, I like our chances within the division.
I agree with that. I will say though that the Eagles, they're not the team of last year, and we've been seeing that all season. They've been just kind of skirting by in every game they've been in. You would expect a team of that talent to like be winning games by good margins, but like they beat the Cowboys by 4 in the Rams game in the first half of that game. They had -1 yards passing. They had to come back in the second half, and it took the block field goal to win that game. And then against the Buccaneers in the second half, they passed for 0 yards. And again, the Buccaneers came storming back, and the Eagles really have not looked great in any game this season. They've been outgained in every single game this season by their opponent. It's something is going on with Philadelphia, and they're vulnerable. It's time for everybody else to catch them because the Eagles don't really have any let ups. I do believe they play I think the Chargers next week. So that's
Minnesota.
I remember I thought I saw someone say they played the Chargers last week. I could be wrong though, but I think the Eagles have another big game next week.
Yeah, I think it's Minnesota because I looked up the schedule last night because I was curious. I was like, okay, so they lost to the Giants. I was like, who else could they possibly lose to? Yeah, they have the Vikings next week in Minnesota.
Yeah, see, that's going to be another difficult game. Minnesota's playing well. I know Wentz is their quarterback right now, but they're not a pushover. So,
Yeah, I like Brian Flores. I like what he's doing with that defense in Minnesota. All right. Since we touched on the Eagles already, we still have a little more time, so I'm gonna ask a quick question real quick, and then we'll be finished. All right. My question is, which 4-1 team are you most surprised about?
who are the four? Can you tell me who the 4-1 teams are, real quick?
Yeah, I got you. Starting with the AFC, you have the Colts and the Bills. In the NFC, you have the 49ers, Tampa Bay, Detroit.
Oh, that's easy. It's the 49ers because of the injuries they've sustained. They beat the Rams last week, missing their top 3 receivers and their quarterback and their tight end for that matter, because Kittle's been out too. People can say that they're shocked by the Colts, but the Colts have been that team that all they needed was a quarterback. Anthony Richardson was a disaster. He was a project that failed. They attempted it and it didn't work out. They got a quarterback, a field general quarterback who can distribute the ball, and that's all they really needed. They just need someone they can run an offense through. So I'm not really surprised by. I am surprised the Colts are 4-1, but I'm not surprised Daniel Jones is doing well. But just because of all the injuries they've had this season, I've got to go with the 49ers because how many teams do you know could lose that amount, could be missing their tight end, quarterback, and their top 3 receivers and still beat one of the better teams in the NFL? Not very many.
Yeah. Um, my team was at first was the Colts, but like you said, I've been watching the 49ers, and yeah, they've been impressive, especially missing their top players, the top quarterback, their wide receivers. And I'm impressed by Matt Jones as well, how he's playing. And literally, you could literally play any quarterback into the Kyle Shanahan system, and they could be successful. So that was my main thing. I was like, okay, well, Will Matt Jones does it fit well in that system, but he fits like a glove. and he's slightly playing better than Brock Purdy has this season. Now, I know a lot of people joking on social media talking about he's going to take Brock Purdy's job. I don't think he's going to do all of that, but he has been playing well and he has looked impressive. And every time I want the 49ers to, every time I wish for the 49ers downfall, they always prove me wrong. They always find ways to win these games.
Right. And I will add to that if a lot of people forget that Mac Jones is the quarterback that Kyle Shanahan wanted to draft in that draft, and not Trey Lance. Like he basically got outvoted on that situation, but he's got Mac Jones now, and hey, I mean, that's a pretty big what if scenario because he looks really good in that offense.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to add?
Oh, that's it. I just want to say thank you for having me on, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for joining us. I know it was pretty much last minute, but I'm glad you was able to join us. And we will be back next week. I know last week we missed the predictions for last week. I was on a little vacation, so but now we're back. We're gonna give you our predictions for every week now in the NFL, and NBA is about to start too. So we're about to start doing NBA videos and dropping NBA content as well. But appreciate y'all. Continue to support us on all our social media accounts. And thanks again, Random Sports Fan, for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.